Hey YouTube, this is JTJ13731. Sorry for my kind of absence in videos. I haven't had a lot going on lately with TCGs and whatnot, but I recently finished this green-blue Innistrad block constructed deck that I've been working on. It's block constructed because that's what my local store plays most of the time. So yeah, let's get started with the deck. It's actually mainly focused on getting off Soulbond and all of what that entails. So of course, since it's Soulbond, you start off with the main Soulbond guy, 4 Wolfear Silverheart. He just makes all your guys huge, like absolutely enormous, and he becomes enormous himself. I mean, an 8/8 is no small creature at all, and he's 5 mana, so he's not that hard to cast. 4 Druid's Familiar, giving anything +2/+2 and him, so he's pretty much always a 4/4. Just like Silverheart's almost always an 8/8, so he's pretty useful. 4 Strangleroot Geist. He's really good in early game rush, and he goes really well with one of the other 2-drops in the deck, which I'll get to in a little bit. I'm only running 2 of him, but I'll get there. That's all the 4 ofs. 3 Latch Seeker. You can bond this guy with Wolfear Silverheart and basically just put your opponent on a 3-turn clock, because he's now a 7/5 unblockable. So you're just going boop, boop, oops, I won. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. 3 Champion of Lambert, a really solid card. Another one of the cards that you use to put your opponent on a clock. Basically, the bigger he gets, the less creatures your opponent has that can block. And he gets bigger when creatures come into the battlefield. So if nothing else is coming to the battlefield, you can go bond with Silverheart, bond with Wolfear Silverheart. He's a 6/6. Now all your opponent's 5/5s or 5 power cards and below can't block. So you basically just get to bash their face in with all of your creatures, unless they have another Wolfear, because that's really the only thing in the format that can respond to that. 3 Wolfear Avenger. Just a great card. 3/3 for 3 is always good. And he has Flash and Regenerate. I don't use the Regenerate ability much. He's mainly for eating my opponent's early creatures. Like in the Naya matchup, if they try and get in earlier with their Avacyn's Pilgrim, which a lot of people do, basically you just throw this guy down and eat it. It's pretty awesome. 3 Wingcrafter. I was running it at 4, but then I kept like drawing 3 copies of him in my opening hand, and that sucks. I usually actually don't play this early game, even though it's a 1-drop, because Strangleroot Geist is such a better choice all the time. This is mainly just to give my guys evasion and once again put them on a clock. This guy with Silverheart's actually a 2-turn clock, because you're going Silverheart, Wingcrafter, which is 13 in the air. Granted, they don't have any flying blockers, but because Lingering Souls is banned, so they don't have any chump blockers that are common anyway. 2 Peel from Reality. This is another kind of weird form of evasion. If they only have 1 creature, I can bounce it and bounce one of mine and then get in. And also, if I early game set a bond, like a soul bond, and then later in the game I want to bond one of those with something else, I can just go Peel from Reality, bounce one of their guys, and then bounce mine back and reset the soul bond while I'm at it. So that's good. 2 Blessings in Nature. It's actually pretty easy to hardcast this in this deck. I only miracle it every once in a while. Usually you put this on your Champion of Lambert or your Latch Seeker and just start up the clock of how long your opponent can last. Next is a guy that I was talking about earlier that goes really, really well with Strangler or Geist. Nightshade Peddler. You bond him, your Geist has Death Touch. So you go in, you don't even care if, like, they're more than likely not going to block him. Because he's just going to come back and he's going to trade with their creature, even if it's like an 8/8. Like, they have their Huntmaster, their Silverheart, whatever. This guy allows Strangler guys to trade with anything. Plus, he's going to come back with Undying, more powerful. They're almost never going to block that Strangler guys. Especially if I also have a Champion Lambolt on the field, because when he re-enters, he's going to give Champion another +1. So, he really helps the deck. One, Elgard Shieldmate. I'm actually sideboarding a couple of these. He's really good. I can come down and bring down a Silverheart bonded with him, and he's a 6/7, and Silverheart's an 8/8, and they're both hexproof. So it's pretty nice. If I have matchups like Delver or some other things, which Delver isn't as common in block constructed, but run into Delver matchups and stuff, I can always board in more of these, which is really nice. One Deadeye Navigator, which I'm also boarding in more of. He's really good. Like, once you have 6 open mana and him bonded on the field, like, your opponent just can't interact with you anymore. I mean, flicker him out, bond him with something, bond him with whatever you're blocking with, and then flicker the blocker out so that the blocker doesn't take any damage. It's pretty ridiculous. Also, he helps reset Soulbond. Like, if I need to bond something to get, like, a Silverheart to get early game, or not early game, sorry, just to get 2 magnificent blockers or beat sticks on the field, because he would be a 9/9. But I later draw, like, a Latch Seeker. I can just play the Latch Seeker, flicker out Silverheart, and rebond it, so that's pretty nice, too. One Borderland Ranger. He's a body. He goes pretty well with Deadeye Navigator as well, because once you've gotten that land out of him, you don't care what you do with him, you just send him in. I mean, fetching that extra land is sometimes important. It's not usually, but you never know, so he's a one of. One Garruk Relentless. He makes tokens, and there's stuff I can bond with if I really have to. Plus, he's one of the few real types of removal that I have in the deck. I mean, I just think he's a really good addition. He works really well, and he can put more pressure on the board. So, one Garruk might go to 2. I don't know yet. One Briarpack Alpha. This guy's really good. I don't see how he hasn't seen a lot of play. He's 1 more than Wolfear Avenger. Same power, except, and he's a flash, which is why I'm comparing him to Wolfear Avenger. You can flash him in. For that one other mana, you get to put 2 +1/+1 counters, or, well, not counters. You get to do +2/+2 till the end of the turn. So basically, if you need to, you can flash in a 5/5 to just eat one of their creatures, because that's going to eat a lot of stuff in this format. Alright, that's all the creatures and spells, and that's 35, I believe. Alright, here's the land. One Haunted Fendgraph. It's useful just if you, like, if you're playing against a standard deck or whatever, and say they gutshot your unblockable Latch Seeker guy early, you can just get him back on the field, bond him with a Silverheart, and go nuts. So it's useful in some cases, but obviously I'm only doing a one of. 4 Evolving Wilds, obvious mana fixer. 4 Hinterland Harbor. this is what took so long to build the deck. It took me forever to acquire 4 of these, and it sucks, but I'm so glad I have them now, because without them, the mana in this deck would just suck. So, 4 Hinterland Harbor. Then I am running 10 forests and 6 islands to run out the finish out the main board. Right now, my sideboard's not particularly great, but it's decent because I don't have that much stuff, so I'm basically using what I have that I think would be good against some matchups. So 1 Elgato Shieldmate for obvious any control match sort of. 1 Borderland Ranger if I feel like I need more mana fixing, because my mana sometimes sucks. I can just board him in. Another Haunted Fengraf if they're just killing all my stuff. I can board this in and get some of my stuff back. 1 Ghost Quarter. This is for like if I'm playing a standard match and they're playing Inkmoth Nexuses. This works really well, or if they're playing dual lands or any other important land, I can just shoot it, so it's nice. 1 Deadeye Navigator, already talked about that, great card. 1 Pathbreaker Worm. I'm not mainboarding this because it's kind of expensive, but it is useful in certain matchups if I just need really, really big cards that can still do damage even if they get chump blocked. So 1 Pathbreaker Worm in the board. 2 Geist Trappers, because this deck, other than Windcrafter, doesn't have a lot of answers to heavy flying decks. So if I need to, I can board this in. 2 Islands, if I need to board in more blue creatures, I can always board in islands. 2 Ambush Viper. This guy is spectacular. Not really good enough to run in the main deck. He's basically a green Doomblade. That's what you use him as. So basically they attack and I just eat one of their creatures. It's awesome. 2 Peel from Reality. Just if I need more reset or I need to bounce more of their stuff because they're pressuring me with heavy board presence. More Peels. And 1 Windcrafter for once again dealing with heavy flying matchups. Alright. That's all, and thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to get more decks to you soon, and see you later, guys.